Hi, my name is Ben Nickrand, and today I'll be talking about the Eiffel Tower. So, first off, imagine all the greatest architecture in the world. Think of, the pyramids of Giza, giant structures built by the Egyptians, or the Colosseum, huge structure developed by the Romans, and the Eiffel Tower, developed by Gustave Eiffel and some compatriots. So, there's obviously an outlier. They're all historic, of course, and all have very humane advancements that were integrated into why they were made. There are many stories with the Eiffel Tower, especially in its construct and as to why the tower was built. The purpose ended up being a ton different than it was supposed to be. So, the Eiffel Tower. I've always been fascinated with the Eiffel Tower, particularly the history of why it was just made out of nowhere, it seemed like. So this eyesore, and nobody liked it at first. Everybody thought it was gross looking, terrible in the middle of their city, and they did not like it. And it ended up becoming this global symbol of engineering and culture. So today, I'll take you into the history, construction, and significance of the Eiffel Tower, and we'll explore what makes it truly different from the other great monuments of the world. The history and construction of the Eiffel Tower. History.com wrote that the Eiffel Tower was built in 1889 at the Exposition Universelle, the World's Fair, in Paris. It commemorated the 100th year anniversary of the French Revolution, which was this massive ongoing war trying to battle for the freedom of the French, and it ended up being a really terrible time for many, many people. But as a celebration of the 100th year anniversary of its ending of this terrible war, Gustave Eiffel built this tower at the World Fair. National Geographic says that the designer and constructor of the Eiffel Tower was Gustave Eiffel. Makes sense, named it after himself. And he also built this little apartment for himself at the one of the upper levels of the tower, and he created like a grand piano and all this amazing stuff, which is a little side story. Like, I didn't know that until I started researching about it, but it's amazing to see how he just integrated his life into this giant construct that ended up being a historical monument. The construction of the Eiffel Tower began in January 1887 and was completed in March 1889. So it only took 2 years. It was 2 years, 2 months, and 5 days, I believe, which is not that much time to put up one of the world's greatest architectural structures ever made, which is just insane. But there was also a lasting impact that the tower had. So while it was being made, there was many critics that were downing on it as much as they could, saying it was ugly and it just looked terrible. However, it ended up having lots of scientific value and saved itself from destruction. It was supposed to last for 20 years, and then they're just going to tear it down. However, Gustave Eiffel did many experiments on his tower, dropping things and seeing how gravity affects them. But then there was also meteorologists who came along, and they, decipher the weather, see patterns, and try and figure out what's going to happen next, as well as the early steps of wireless communication within radio transmissions, which was obviously very doable since the tower is very tall. And now the Eiffel Tower is one of the world's most recognizable man-made landmarks, as said by the Tour Eiffel website, which was very interesting to me because I've always known the Eiffel Tower was the world's one of the most recognizable, but I didn't think that it was actually one of the world's most recognizable. I thought the wonders of the world, like the the Taj Mahal and Christ the Redeemer. I thought those were more popular, but apparently the Eiffel Tower is actually on the same level, which I thought was very, very cool. So the Eiffel Tower may be a marvel to look at if you visit Paris, but it served a much better purpose than mere appearances and looks. It actually served, of course, as the radio transmitter that or helped invent the early steps of wireless transmission or connection, and it mattered so much. Originally, of course, the tower was a 100-year anniversary marker to show the the commemoration for the tower for the ending of the French Revolution, and was absolutely great. And overall, the Eiffel Tower served a key role in the innovation of wireless communication experiments, and was a great was a great creation of humankind, and showed the achievements of engineering, and will always be a symbol of human achievement. Thank you.